What if justice was public, but only told half the story? Welcome to the Rwandan Vigilante, where we uncover truths history tries to bury. I'm your host, shining a light on Rwanda's Gacaca courts, a bold experiment sold as justice. Was it about healing or control? If you're ready for unfiltered history, hit that subscribe button and let's dive in. In 1994, Rwanda's genocide against the Tutsi left the nation in ruins, over 800,000 dead, communities shattered, and prisons overflowing with over 100,000 suspects packed into spaces meant for a fraction of that. The legal system was broken. Most judges and lawyers were killed or had fled. By 2001, the government needed a fix. They turned to Gacaca, a traditional community court once used for disputes over land or family. Now it would judge genocide crimes, cases of unimaginable horror. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Gacaca was built on a simple idea: justice by the people, for the people. Nearly every village set up a court. Locals elected judges called Inyangamugayo, meaning people of integrity, in Kinyarwanda. Trials were held in the open, often under trees or in fields. Anyone could testify: victims, witnesses, even the accused. Those who confessed might get reduced sentences like TIG or community service. Deny guilt, you risked life in prison. Globally, Gacaca was hailed as revolutionary. Over 1.9 million cases were processed in just over a decade. Fast, public, participatory. But was it too good to be true? Let's dig deeper. The Inyangamugayo were the backbone of Gacaca, local jurors chosen for their moral character. But here's the problem: they weren't lawyers. Most had no legal training, just a short orientation on Gacaca's rules, no lessons on evidence, fairness, or defendants' rights. Yet these judges held immense power. They could sentence someone to life based on a single testimony. Some tried to be fair, others, not so much. Many were influenced by Ibuka, a powerful survivors group tied to the ruling Rwandan Patriotic Front, or RPF. In some villages, rulings reflected political agendas, not truth. Justice was starting to look shaky. Gacaca's local setup was meant to empower communities. Instead, it opened the door to corruption. With trials held in villages, power was decentralized and vulnerable. Bribes were common. Witnesses could be paid to lie or stay silent. One chilling tactic: convicted genocidaires already in prison would approach innocent people and demand money. Refuse, and they'd falsely accuse you in court. A single accusation, even without proof, could lead to years behind bars. For example, in one documented case, a farmer lost his land after a neighbor, motivated by a decades-old grudge, accused him of aiding killers. No evidence, but the sentence stuck. Retaliation was another issue. Old disputes over land or family feuds were dressed up as genocide accusations. In some communities, jealousy fueled false testimonies. If someone had a better farm or more influence, Gacaca became a weapon to settle scores. Then there was the government's role. In the early 2000s, presidential pardons freed some convicted genocidaires, but many were later rearrested when Gacaca reopened their cases. Why release them only to retry them? To some, it felt orchestrated, a way to keep certain narratives alive while silencing others. Was this justice, or a system gamed for control? Perhaps Gacaca's darkest flaw was who it silenced. The courts were designed to hear all voices, but for many Hutu civilians, speaking was a trap. Why? Gacaca's rules were strict. Even witnessing a killing without reporting it could make you complicit. Testifying meant risking self-incrimination. Imagine you're a Hutu farmer in 1994. You saw a killing but hid to save your family. In Gacaca, sharing that truth could land you in prison, so many Hutus stayed silent, out of fear or survival. Tutsi victims, meanwhile, could testify freely, their stories shaping the trials. This created a lopsided narrative. Worse, Gacaca only judged genocide crimes by Hutus. Crimes by the RPF, like revenge killings or mass executions during and after the genocide, were off-limits. For example, reports from groups like Human Rights Watch point to thousands killed by RPF forces in 1994 to 95, yet Gacaca never touched these cases. Hutu families who lost loved ones to these acts had no voice, no justice. The courts didn't just try cases, they shaped history's story, leaving half untold. Gacaca was sold as a path to truth, unity, and reconciliation. But was it really? Or was it a performance, a carefully staged show to control Rwanda's memory? The courts punished thousands, some guilty, some not. They gave survivors a platform, which was vital, but also cemented a narrative. Tutsis as victims, Hutus as perpetrators. This wasn't always false, but it was incomplete. By ignoring RPF crimes, Gacaca ensured only one version of history was told. Take the story of Marie, a Hutu widow I learned about through survivor accounts. Her husband was killed by RPF soldiers in 1995. She attended Gacaca, hoping to speak, but stayed silent, fearing accusations. Her pain, and thousands like it, was erased. Gacaca didn't just judge, it decided whose suffering mattered. The government's grip was clear. The RPF used Gacaca to legitimize its rule, framing itself as the savior while burying its own wrongs. Justice was visible but selective. Was this healing, or a tool to rewrite the past? What do you think? Comment below and let's discuss. So was Gacaca a heroic model or a flawed experiment? The truth isn't black and white. It processed millions of cases when no other system could. It gave some victims closure and held many accountable. But it also silenced voices, punished the innocent, and protected the powerful. Gacaca was a mirror, reflecting Rwanda's pain but also its politics. At the Rwandan Vigilante, we don't rewrite history, we complete it. Because real justice, the kind that heals, means hearing all sides, no matter how inconvenient. If this story stirred you, like this video, share it, and subscribe for more untold truths. Until next time, stay brave, stay curious, and keep asking what they don't want you to.